All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our Talking Points Live. Just going to be me today, just Phillip. We're going to be building a Haunted Mansion model from Disneyland. Now, a while back, I had a talking point where I assembled this one. This is the Haunted Mansion as shown at Magic Kingdom in Disney World and also at Tokyo Disneyland. They have the same building. Looks slightly different, a little bit different in the coloration, but more or less the same. So let's see, it's all kind of nice together. It comes with its own little display stand. And yeah, I did a time lapse there of me assembling it. But the same time I bought that, I also got this one. This is the model kit they have for Disneyland's Haunted Mansion. And since tomorrow's October, we're in Halloween season. So what better time to assemble a haunted house kit? Of course, ironically, Disneyland, which is about 10 miles that way, is doing its Nightmare Before Christmas Haunted Mansion holiday overlay right now. So at Halloween, it doesn't actually look like this. It's got a bunch of Tim Burton-esque decorations all over it. But, you know, they don't make a model kit for that. So we'll just standard vanilla Haunted Mansion as is, original. And as you can see, in this frame, I've got some tools, and we'll have a little drop-down view. You can see me assembling it, and we'll switch the window orientation, so I'll be the little tiny window on the side if you ever want to ask questions or anything. So without a delay, here we go. All right, nice thing about these kits is that they don't really need tools beyond, say, a sprue cutter. But I've got these others here just in case. No glue on me. The previous kit, the Magic Kingdom kit, doesn't actually have any glue in it at all. So it's actually pretty sturdy on its own. It actually had to adjust it a few times, though, to get it all to snap in properly. But since the last time I had to do that, it seems to be pretty okay. Nothing been falling off, so it doesn't really need glue. I will say, though, it could probably use some paint because there's no real teal on the model. The ceiling tiles are kind of tealish, but they've been worn over decades. And I can tell you for certain the greenhouse does not look like this. So could use some darkening colors, maybe a little more weathering. But for the most part, if you just want to assemble as is, you get a pretty decent model out of it. So I'm going to think that the same will be true with this one. All right. You can see we got a lot of sprues. Look at all those windows. Actually, just the blinds. And this would be all the wrought iron filigree and stuff. Some walls and then more wrought iron. Structural supports. The roof. This would be the base. And another base down there. And something else hiding in the bag. And these are the actual windows and what looks like the top of the tower. All right, we'll get into it. Look at that, just 16 steps. It's just, you know, some steps have a million pieces. Some steps have 4. Or 2. This is about on par as the other one. Well, it's 2 times 4, so you gotta pay attention to those parts. That's just 3. This is 29 times. Oh, that's step 1. That's gonna be fun. And I'm going to push this just out of sight for you guys, but within my field of vision. Who am I trying to impress? I need to open these gently. Feels weird. All right. I'm already regretting this. All right, here we go. Feel free to ask questions. I don't think anybody's actually watching at the moment, but you know, when you're watching it later, you can point out that I said feel free to ask questions. How much do I care about that? All right, 28 more to go. I do like something about that is like peg in here. Two pegs. It pegs into larger pegs. About halfway there, maybe? I wasn't counting. So aside from these haunted mansions, there's also Sleeping Beauty Castle and Cinderella's Castle as model kits, as well as a Space Mountain kit. No differentiating Disney World and Disneyland with the Space Mountain kit because it's really the same design, just at different scales. The box design, this sort of blueprint thing, marks this as being in like thematically the same series as the Disneyland Railroad and monorail kits. So it's sort of like a scenic decoration for those items. So if you want to, build your own miniature theme park, like the Disney Magic set from way back, there's still some opportunities for that. And if you want to look through, there is one of our earlier live shows. We talked about the Disney Magic and how they used to have play sets of their rides that you could create or buy. And Disney Magic was a Sears exclusive set that created Town Square from Walt Disney World. But later in the late 90s and early 2000s, they also did a monorail scale set of hotels and attractions. Some of them I think are still available. Maybe you can get. I think you can still get the castles, but you can't get like the haunted mansions anymore. And definitely not the California Adventure rides that are no longer there. I always thought it was a neat thing. Kind of wanted to get it, but you have to pick your battles when you're collecting. 4 more to go. All right. Getting there. It's nice that we're getting it all out of the way early at least, but still sucks that we have to do 29 windows. An odd number. Always someone. All right, 1 screw down. $29 windows with curtains. Because they're wooden curtains, like slats, so look over on the outside. All right, the next step. 2 C6s. This is spruce seed. How am I differentiating 6 from 9s? Yeah, those are 6s. They don't have the line to indicate which is top or bottom, but it's written out down here. So by orientating the letters properly, then we can tell which way is up. Two 6s. 5. Two 9s. And 4. No comments on my techniques holding the screw cutter. I know it's weird. Yeah, these little walls. And we are looking for D2. Oh, that's not helpful. Two pieces dropped. All right. I think it's meant to be stained glass windows or maybe glass windows. I don't think it's actually stained glass. Ironwork frames. It's the second story of the facade. I never get to go up there. Cast members do though. All right, one wall down. There's a lot going on with this next step. Okay. B on here. E two different E's. I don't know why they just make another letter. Maybe you need E4 though. F, B, and H now. H1. That's the only H. F5. F10. Well, hey, Bjorn Jacob, thank you. And welcome. You might be the only one on right now. I don't know. Oh, I have two people. All right. Any more Fs? F4. All right. Sorry, not a whole lot of banter I can give off when it's just me here. All right, the rest are all B's. The 17, 18, and 19. Okay. B8. You ever wonder how they reverse engineer model kits? 12. If you think about it, they gotta sculpt all this together, and then they gotta figure out the steps and the placement on the screws. It's all very technical. 9 and 13. That's right there. That's all in that order. Not what we call the sturdiest connection. That seems to be holding. An advantage of it not having glue is when I put the pieces in the wrong spot, they're easy to replace. Well, that's certainly starting to look like the Haunted Mansion's facade. Have I tried to build some of those 12 scale Bandai Star Wars figure kits? Yes. I built the Stormtrooper and then Han and Luke in Stormtrooper disguises because that helps build my 12th scale Stormtrooper army. So I got this weird army building thing with me where I say I don't army build, but then I leave a exception for if it's a new mold or different from like a new paint job from the last one, different accessories. So I can build an army of stormtroopers if they're all different stormtrooper releases. So that helps build me that. I also put together the Return of the Jedi Vader and added quite a bit of paint to that. I was really kind of happy with how that turned out. Then I also got the Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett kit, and that requires so much detailing that's out of my skill set, so he looks a little sad right now. But I have put them together. I do make nice action figures if they feel, even though they feel a little bit hollow, but there's some pretty decent articulation on them. There's good details. And I wish they weren't as fiddly with their accessories, though, where they're just kind of parts into a hand. You can't just, pop it in with some softer finger hands. I kind of wish they would just, use some of the rubbery parts they use for the inner joints and just put that in the hands so that they can just grip weapons rather than having to assemble weapons around it. And especially egregious with Vader, where you have to, have a separate hand to hold the lightsaber where you detach the top and pop it on the top and bottom. And then there's like a separate lightsaber for his belt. I did replace the cape the Vader came with because the Vader cape is just rubber, and it's kind of gets in the way of stuff. So I got a cloth one off of eBay and put that on him. But yes, I have put the Bandai Star Wars figure kits together. I do like the way I did that. That was like the first foray into doing stuff like this. So yeah, I got a few. All right, where are we going now? Moving that to the side, we're going to one of the side walls, so A1. Are we sure that's A1? Because that does not line up. Oh, that's D. Yep, we're sure that's not A1, because that's not A1. That's A1. C3. C5. C6. All right, where'd you go? Pre-ordered C3PO and R2D2 from Big Bad Toy Store, and they will be my first, but I have built tons of regular plastic model kits and 135 tanks and such. Okay. If you're comfortable with detailing and paint and maybe decals, I don't know if 3PO and R2 really need those. Should be pretty easy. Like these kits, they don't actually require glue. And I've had some of the model kits. Actually, yeah. Here's a Bandai kit right now. The X-Wing. This is mostly done with stickers for the details, but they also include a sheet of water slide decals if you want to go that route. But you can see I did a little detailing on the pilot and the droid there. I was actually happy with how those turned out. Could probably use more weathering on outside of the engines, but that's really just where I kind of focused. But yeah. You can see with the smaller one that was part of that same kit, you got two in two different scales. This one got the full weathering treatment. He looks a lot nicer. Again, just these are the stickers I opted with instead of water slide decals, just because I am not as skilled with water slide. Oh, thank you. All right, where are that? All right. So I believe this is the back wall, but don't quote me on that because you never really see the back wall at Disneyland. You see the side. The back wall faces the railroad track, and by that time you're getting close to a tunnel. So it's kind of hard to see the back of the Haunted Mansion. Did I use panel liner during that? No, that was a straight paint wash. Watered down black paint, painted it on there, and then just rubbed it off as quickly as I could. That got paint inside the crevices, but then wiped off the flat surfaces. I also did that to the hair pieces that came with Luke and Han in their Stormtrooper disguises. The faces on those, one of the reasons I like the Bondi kits is the faces on those, and with the Vader from Return of the Jedi, because he had the alternate removed helmet option. They come pre-painted, and it's like the photo real sort of thing that Hasbro does with their figures now. So it's got all nicely detailed and textured and everything. But then the hair pieces they came with were just brown plastic. So it looked pretty boring. But I did a paint wash on that same thing and just watered down black paint, painted it over, and then took just tissue paper, wiped off what I could. So it got some black swirled in there to add a little more depth to the figures. And of course, since they're in Stormtrooper gear, I don't have to do any paint on there because it's supposed to be bright white. Now we're going to add some more wrought iron work and the second floor balcony. Is that a widow's walk, I guess? Here we go. You got to remember which sprue is which. And F9. And F7. Are those old kits? The Han and Lucas Stormtroopers. I did do them a few years ago, probably 2017-ish, I think. So yeah, they might be out of stock now. Try eBay. See, hopefully they got decent prices. Don't know how easy it is to get where you're from. If you're from America, sure. If not, maybe a little more difficult. I don't know. Yeah. H5. Hawaii. Norway. Yep. the slash through the O was making me guess Scandinavian, but I didn't want to assume. So yeah, I don't know how easy they are to attain in Norway. Ten, 6, 11, 7. 10, 6, 11, 7. Well, they're in the proper orientation on the sprue. That helps. Four, 14, 15. $14. We got two 14s. I guess we do. Another 15 and 5. Here we go. These don't plug into the bottom. Oh, very peculiar. And that's why it pays to study the diagram. What scale is this? I honestly do not know. In real life, this is a 3-story building. And here it's like 3 inches tall. It doesn't say on the package what the scale is, which is sad. 145 pieces, and then even less on the back. You can try looking up on disneystore.eu or European Union. But yeah, it doesn't actually say the scale. I mean, it could be like O scale for railroad terms. I don't know. 1/72 maybe. Well, let me see. I got a ruler here. I do. All right. Four inches. So it's probably going to be like 4.5 inches or doesn't help that I don't have the roof on it. Not much taller. How about there? About 11.5 centimeters. And let's see. So it's 22 feet and 7 inches. Let's break out the old calculator. $271 inches. So maybe around 1/60th scale. Math. Hope I did that right. All right. Front and back of the house. We're getting there. All right, we're doing the sides here. D3 and D4. It's going to be a fast step. Doesn't look like there's too much going on. And why can't all the steps be that quick? Boom. Yeah. Orientation matters. H3. B1. Two. I don't know why I did it like that. I'm not right-handed. I'm just making it harder on myself. And we have F2 as well. Tight corner. All right, back to A2. H4 and F1. I know you're a huge Disneyland fan. Have I been to the one in Florida? I have been to the one in Florida, but only twice. Last time I went was 2017 when they had the G.I. Joe convention over there at the Swan and Dolphin. Before that was 1994. So I need to go back. And before you ask, I have been to Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea once. I have not been to Shanghai or Hong Kong Disneyland, and I have not been to Disneyland Paris. I really want to go to Disneyland Paris. I want to go to all of them, but Disneyland Paris, my God. It's like they made Disneyland without a budget. Just everything is so beautiful. They're so well detailed. Tokyo Disneyland isn't a slouch either, but it is very heavily based on Disney World's Magic Kingdom Park, which is their version of Disneyland, with the New Orleans Square from Disneyland. So it's kind of a hybrid blend of the two parks, but very heavily skewed towards Florida. They have, like I said, they have the same Haunted Mansion building design as well as the same castle design. They just, have some different colors and lighting setups. But their other park, Tokyo Disney Sea, that is a gorgeous park. It's, again, like it was built without a budget. It opened in 2001, and Disney California Adventure, our second park, opened in 2001, same year. And you could not see a greater difference in how much was paid for it. Our park was done on the cheap, and they have since spent the last 20 years trying to improve it. Disney Sea, perfect out the gate. They've just been making expansion after expansion, though. You've been to Disneyland Paris. Well, you've been to, I think, is what is the most beautiful of the Disneyland style parks. So I am jealous. All right, that's this step. That's a boring step. Why are some of these steps are like, again, do this 29 times. Good luck finding all the parts for this part and this part, and then that. It don't make no sense. I will say, Disneyland Paris tends to have a lot more walk-through attractions than any of the other Disney parks. I'm not sure why that is, but it is a neat thing about it. But, it seems like it may come at the expense of some rides. But, I mean, like the Captain Nemo 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea walkthrough. That looks so cool. I still haven't even seen the original movie. But, having a steampunk submarine. I wish they kept the squid attack, because that actually ties into the movie and was an animatronic rather than replacing it with a digital screen. I know you can show more, but animatronics are real. They're physical. It's like more craftsmanship and technological know-how to make that work over and over again versus a digital screen. It's just, I'm looking at you through one. This is this is recording it. I can do a digital screen at home, I can't get a giant squid to attack my house as an animatronic. There's, it's spectacle. I think they got to think about that. All right, another relatively easy step. Is this the rest of my windows going? Looks like it. Poor maintenance people have to wash all these windows. All right, that's that step. A lot less filigree work on this side, I'll tell you that. You can tell we're getting close to the end because I'm starting to throw away more sprues. How much is a year pass to Disneyland in California? Well, that depends on which tier you want to get. I have the Inspire key. They're called Magic Keys over here instead of annual passes. Why they changed that, I don't know. Annual Passport is what they used to be called before the COVID shut down. Now they're called Magic Keys. That's like a difference without a distinction. But my Inspire key is the top tier, so I only have a blackout of the 2 weeks around Christmas, which, okay, I wouldn't want to be there at that time either. It's really crowded. And, Christmas starts in mid-November over there, so I have plenty of time to see all the stuff. But the reason I got the Inspire is that parking is included and merchandise discounts are higher than the other tiers. So every time I go, I save $30 on parking right there. So I think right now it's actually like $1,600 a year, which is steep, but you can do a monthly payment and they don't charge interest on it. So it's just broken down, divided by 12. So it's a little over $100 a month. 150 maybe. So rumor is they're getting rid of a reservation requirement that they've had in effect since COVID early next year. So I'm really looking forward to that because right now you have to really plan out when you go. Whereas pre-COVID, you could just, go on a whim. Like if you're having a day at work and you're just enough, you just drive straight from work and go there and spend your evening at Disneyland, which is nice because I just work down the street a few miles from it. You say not bad, but that is like the most expensive of the parks around here. You are paying a premium for Disney. I don't expect you to know what Knott's Berry Farm is, but they have existed longer than Disneyland, and they are cheaper. All right, that's this step. Unpaint a door. All right, that is all the main walls of this haunted mansion. So I expect we will soon be popping things together. 4 more steps until that comes. We're getting to the roof now. Makes sense. Let's see. All right, that's the part I needed. It just kind of fell off on its own. And now the tiniest part of the kit. So hope I don't screw this up. Did you try to stay in that Star Wars hotel, the spaceship tour thing? No, that is in Florida. So transportation costs alone are expensive. And then adding $2,000 for a 2-night stay to be at the minimum, that's just out of my price range. I was hoping to get to it at some point, but considering today is literally its last day of operation, I don't think that's going to happen. It looks cool, though. I watched some videos of it, but it sounds like you really had to be paying attention to your Disney World app. Otherwise, you would miss out on a lot of experiences if you just try to experience it organically, which that's another kind of knock against it, where you have to rely too much on a thing in your pocket and watching what's going on your phone versus what's going on literally around you in a Star Wars themed hotel. But I digress. We do have Galaxy's Edge over here, which is nice. So we have the same rides they have in Florida, but we do not have that experience. Little beacon is going to be the death of me. All right. There we go. That is a tiny piece. All right, now we're going to make 4 chimneys from E. Do not have it. That's one of my last screws. Ah, well, I guess that helps. It's only this. All right, that's this sprue done. What happened to your custom Zorana head? She was missing the head for the longest time. She fell down. And when she fell down, the head fell into a pile of, let's just sing over a second, of toys I had over there, and I just couldn't find it for a while. So she went headless for a bit. But thankfully, I found her. For being headless, amusingly enough, her head was found on top of my container of Ghostbuster ghosts. Very appropriate. All right, these are not liking staying in right now. That's going to be fun. So the drop actually happened on one of the What's on Joe Mine streams, if you go back and watch one of my previous appearances. And so it was only appropriate that I found it on another What's on Joe Mine stream. All right, that's 5 of those. And the roof part. Oh, that is true. Look where they put the sprue point, right in between. So it's funny, you can see the Zorana, you can record, you can see some of the articulated points videos we did where she's still missing the head. And then when it comes back, and then I think we'll have one pop up where she's still missing her head later. So we can tell when we filmed things by whether or not Zorana has her head. By the way, I made that Zorana. I don't know if you knew that. But, didn't paint the head, but I did paint the hair. Yeah, it is not nice of them to do this. on all of the little ceiling roof filigree. Eight on the side. And 9 for the front. Dang it. So this is the ceiling, different color. It's a good scale display. Yeah, it's not too big, so you can kind of just put it on a bookshelf behind you. But if, like I said, if you wanted to build out your miniature theme park, you can scale it with their railroad or monorail kits, and it's sort of, railroad scale, HO or something. Wrought ironwork around the rooftop. This might be the most annoying part because they really don't all stick in here. They just kind of loosely go in. Oh, I missed that. She looks amazing. I have most of the Sideshow Joes now 3-0. Thank you. I was really hoping to get it Sideshow-esque when I put it together. It's just one of those, you ever just kind of get an idea in your head and then hope the execution matches your plan? This was one of those cases where it actually did. I still think it's hilarious, though. The Zorana head is from a third-party 6-scale figure manufacturer. Like, they made an unlicensed Storm from the X-Men Days of Future Past movie, but for some reason they made her Caucasian instead of, African American. So I don't want to necessarily comment on why that happened, but it does mean if you're not looking for Halle Berry in the head sculpt, you're not going to see her. And so it's not like instantly recognizable as a celebrity, which is what a lot of these third-party head sculpts do. This is very fiddly. I think it's finally on there. That was difficult. Hope we get Lady J from 3-0 soon. She was teased a long time ago now. It would be nice to get a Lady J. I made my own custom one, but I admit it only kind of sort of looks like Lady J, so I would welcome that. All right, we are squeezing the building together right now. It's not quite final, but we're going to attempt it. I also have a cover girl I put together, and again, she doesn't look much like cover girl unless you're specifically hoping her to look like cover girl. She just looks like a female Indiana Jones. A lot of brown in there, you know. I will say this building shape is a lot easier to push together than the Disney World shape, which is more complex and anger inducing. Almost there. I'm not going to point it face up towards the camera because I'm afraid it's just going to flatten if I do that. All right. Last part, F3 and F8. Home stretch here. You know, their parts feel like this. I don't know why they don't just mold them into one piece. It's still too thick for it. All right, here we go. Which way is up? I guess it doesn't matter. Like I said at the beginning of this, you don't have to glue anything down, but sometimes it helps. would not want to stay in place. One thing I do like about the 3.0 12-inch figures is they are certainly higher quality than the Hasbro releases, but not as fiddly as the Sideshow stuff. I got a few of those back in the day for reviewing purposes on yojo.com. And I can tell you, sometimes I was worried I was going to break things with the Sideshow. I don't get that feeling with 3.0. I may take the time to massage in some of those pieces into the base a little bit later, but for now, that's the Haunted Mansion. That's the side you see when you're in the queue. That's the side you see when you walk by it. That's the side you really don't see because that's where Splash Mountain is. That's been transformed into Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And this is the side you definitely don't see because that's where the railroad tracks are. So compare this to the Haunted Mansion from Disney World. Very different structures. One meant to be more New England, one being more New Orleans. Thank you. All right. Yeah, fun, easy, although a little difficult with this bit and a little difficult getting it all into the base, but that's how it was for this one too. And yeah, thanks for watching along. Try finding this on the Disney Store website. Might still be in stock. Again, they also have the Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty castles and Space Mountain, and the railroad and monorail sets are also kind of in this thematic wave. So there we go. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Like, share, and subscribe.